So my son said something to me last night that was hilarious at first. And then it very quickly became not so funny. And he asked me, he said, "Hey, Dad, do you think AI is going to take over the world?" And he's only 12, mind you. And in reality, whoever they are, they want AI to take over the world. And there's so much opportunity for AI to come in and make life easier for so many people and make people's careers and jobs and occupations so much easier to be successful at. But there's a very big difference between AI's ability to improve the quality of life for a person or a user or society, and then for AI to completely remove creativity. And that's where I really get stuck, because it's in all of the learning processes where I actually figured things out. I didn't figure things out when they were done for me. I didn't figure out what I did wrong when it was immediately corrected in camera. So how then, as a creative or as a budding artist, do you then realize, well, this is how I have to fix the problem? Because while we may be moving towards technological advances that fix our problems for us, we're moving away from people learning how to fix their own problems. I'm not just saying that in the camera world, I'm also saying that as someone who's been a bodybuilding, addiction recovery, and men's coach for 27 years. I know men who have written their vows using AI. I know some men who have written love letters or letters to their partners using AI, rather than going inward, searching inside themselves, seeking out their feelings, processing their feelings, and then putting those feelings down on paper. There's a very big difference. So in one way, while AI and all of these technological advances can come in and, again, ease the burden, which is not really that much of a burden for many people, but ease the burden of life's demands, AI is also ruining the creative process and the opportunity for so many to grow and learn. Do you really ever become an artist or become that which you are chasing if it's just being done for you? Are you really ever becoming the artist if the artist is becoming for you? Are you ever learning how to correct the mistakes if the mistakes are corrected for you, if everything's done for you, if your camera is so perfect that you never actually learn how to use it? And what happens if on the rare occasion you don't get your perfect camera in your hand, and now you have to rely on a GH5. Are you even going to know what to do with this? This ancient brick, if you're so used to everything being done for you, is that GH5 ever going to teach you anything? And that's where I really struggle, because I see so many young want to become creatives just chopping themselves at the knees because they're not going to become the creative when they're buying all of the gear that's doing the creativity for them. I may love my GH6 very much. I could have easily purchased a Lumix S1 Mark II and a Fujifilm X-H2S, but I went with the Lumix S1 Mark I, and I've been using the Fujifilm X-H1 for, well, ever since they were released. I've had 3 of them. And I've learned that process. And even an S1 Mark I with its very imperfect autofocus, it forces me to learn, all right, well, if I'm not nailing autofocus for these shots, let me try another setting, and let me see if that setting will work better. But if my camera is already doing it for me and fixing my mistakes, then I'm never learning the process of which setting to use to make the autofocus of an S1 Mark I actually perform at its best. Now, I understand that technology can do wonders for many people. It can make people's lives so much easier. When you come down to brass tacks, you get on set, there's less to do, there's less to set up, there's less to worry about. But what happens when something goes wrong? Because technology is not perfect, and AI will not be perfect. And I would much rather sit here and use and learn and perfect my XH1 and even my XT1 over there than to have the next reiteration of the XH2S AI, whatever you want to call it, the AI version of the XH2 come out where everything is done for me in camera. I have gotten so much joy out of relearning the process of shooting with a GH5. I have found so much inner fulfillment in taking a camera like a GH5 and revisiting maybe what I did wrong 10, 12 years ago. Why the process didn't work back when I got my first GH5, which I got rid of quickly to move over to full frame with an EOS R and an A7 III. And even those two cameras, they're very imperfect. They're not anything close to perfect. But the Canon EOS R, while you may read the spec sheet and go, boy, that's going to be a piece of crap, that was a beautiful camera. Canon really hit the nail on the head with the EOS R, for my photography uses at least. But grabbing the S1 Mark I, for me, was one of the best decisions I ever could have made, because it has improvements that make my life easier while still lacking some of those advancements that would take the process away from me and out of my hands and take that control away from me. And there's guys, even here, some of you watching our channel, that comment, well, I'm still using a Canon Rebel T3, I'm still using a Canon 5D Mark I. I admire you. And I know maybe to you, you're like, I want that newest A7 V that just came out. I get it. But that's probably also because you've had to perfect what you had. You had to create with a T3 or a 5D Mark I or II. You had to create something that forced you to learn the process. So yes, you are ready for Sony A7 V or A7C II with AI focus or whatever's going to come out that just does everything for you. But you are in a very different boat than the new photographer who's not in a third world country, who's got tons of money, or whose parents are buying them whatever camera they want or whatever the situation is. And they're saying, I want the newest, latest and greatest that technology has to offer. You out there with your T3 and 5D Mark I or II, you are in a very different place than that person who's buying their first camera that has every single bit of AI and technology that there is out there to offer. And frankly, in my mind, most likely, if I were to work with you versus work with them, I certainly would have a whole lot more respect for you than I would for them. And I know that's a generalized statement, because I don't know, we're not talking about people as a person. I'm not talking about being a respecter of persons, but I'm talking about being a respecter for talent, for creativity, for knowledge, and above all, of experience. And in my life at 46 years old, after all I've been through, which has been quite a lot, I can tell you that experience trumps everything else. Whether you want to like it or not, experience will always trump everything. My main occupation, my full-time occupation for 27 years as a bodybuilding and addiction recovery coach and youth mentor, has taught me a lot of things. But because of the experiences that I personally have been through, those experiences have allowed me to relate to so many people, to even more people than I would ever have been able to relate to had I not gone through those experiences. I have clients come to me and say, Coach, you're the only person that can help me because you know this better than anyone else. And in the instance of addiction recovery, someone goes into a clinic and meets with a clinician or a doctor who's read a book on how to handle this person's situation and says, okay, well, let's go through this, but it's not working. Well, they don't know why it's not working. Well, what else do we do? Well, they don't know because the book doesn't tell them. But someone who has gone through it, been through it, lived through it, now can say, well, let's try this because this is not working for you. So we need to go a different route. And this different route is probably the route that's going to work for you. So those are my thoughts for today. Like it or not, let me hear what you have to say. Drop a line in the comment section. Let's start a conversation on it. AI, are you for it? Against it? In the middle? What do you think it's going to do to creativity specifically? All right, friends. Thanks for watching another video here at The Growing Pro, where we hope that our 20 plus years of experience directly within the entertainment industry in every facet, from music, video, and photo, in front of the camera and behind the camera, will bring you some value to circumvent this whole process to where you are earning money with your craft faster. I'll see you in the next video.